Hiya, I am here to talk us through it. It is Sunday, March 16th, 2025. It is the sun's day. And for all things considered, the sun isn't very busy today, but the moon is. As a reminder, we are still in Pisces season. We still have, Saturn and the sun are separating. They're outside of 4 degrees right now, or just about to hit 4 degrees separation. So I'm hoping that in the ways that we might have felt a bit creatively limited, or the sense of like somberness or seriousness, or the reality check that we have around, ego or creativity, our identity is starting to let off the brakes a little bit would probably be great. But the moon is active. When we start just at 2:52 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, a reminder, this is so early in the morning. Hopefully you're asleep. We have the moon in Libra. She is in the Via Combusta, path of fire, so she's a bit unpredictable, and she is going to square that out of bounds Mars in Cancer. This is going to be at 19 degrees, and this is when the void of course begins, right? So this is when the moon makes the last major aspect before changing signs. So there's something here about not initiating new things because nothing is really going to come of it, especially because it's Via Combusta and also void of course. So this is kind of dangerous territory to try new things, to initiate new things and find that they've just kind of fallen apart by the wayside. But we do have the moon in Libra, really wanting to connect with others, wanting to make connections to bridge the gap, perhaps, is going to make some other aspects, some quote unquote minor aspects that could still cause us a fair amount of discomfort and crankiness. So I don't think that we should ignore them. It's just we maybe can't do much about them. We have 7:12 a.m. Moon in Libra, opposite that Chiron in Aries. Be careful with your bodies. And also, if you wake up in the morning feeling particularly emotionally sensitive, this is what this is, right? There is an awareness around a wound that we potentially need to do some work on, and that we need to work on healing. And we can't really do much about it right now except for being horribly aware of it. Considering that that is also working within this T square that is happening between the moon, Mars, and Chiron, I definitely think there's some caution here to be careful with your body. There's something here about our drives and desires, our habits, and the sort of wisdom that we can have when we have awareness of the ways that we want to move forward, that would potentially aid and abet our healing, but perhaps aren't right now. It is a cardinal T square, so it really wants us to take action. It really feels like a lot of friction in the sky. So later on in the day, we do have the moon in Libra, quincunx Saturn in Pisces. There is a call to adjust around some of our habits and the ways that we feel limited, right? So I think that there's something that the moon in Libra is doing, that we're emotionally doing, that is not serving us. And Saturn's like, hey, you gotta kibosh that. You gotta knock that out, especially when we're trying to like put our dreams into like some sort of reality and you're not really like doing the right thing here. So there is a call to adjust, right? And then we have that moon in Libra is going to also quincunx Uranus in Taurus, and then also quincunx the sun in Pisces. So these spaces here, right, with the sun and Uranus still being pretty close to that sextile with the moon there. Oh, that would be a yod. A pretty loose yod, I believe, but that puts all the energy on the moon. Uranus and the sun are like these new innovative like ideas and visions, right? And inspirations. And the moon is trying to kind of carry those things out and is being called to make some fine, movements around these things in order to go forward and to be harmonizing, to create a sense of balance and beauty between our vision, and that creates a need to be adjusting. Yes. Okay, and then that yacht is going to be hanging out there for a minute, for I would say about 2-3 hours in the middle of the day. So that Moon in Libra kind of really is trying to do something. And then we have in the evening, 9:50 p.m., Moon Sesame Square, Jupiter and Gemini. Try not to overdo it. Reminder, path of fire. Nothing much will come to all of the things that you try to initiate now. And so when the moon comes and does this square and a half to Jupiter, and Jupiter's like, let's go. I got a lot of ideas. And the moon's like, okay, like, yeah, let's go. But like, no, you're probably doing a little bit too much. So there is definitely a call to rest, to chill out. Even though you're probably going to not want to feel like chilling out so much, though it is Sunday around bedtime if you have to work on Monday. So, maybe don't overdo it. And then late night, 11:20 p.m., inner sleep, hopefully, goddess willing. We got the moon quincunx Neptune. So there is an adjustment around our ultimate vision, around connection, the biggest dreams that we hold and we have, and how we want to go about doing those things. So this could be some sort of dream state in which we have a dream that creates a bit of anxiety because we know, like a literal dream, a sleep kind of dream that creates a sense of anxiety around not being able to completely get our ultimate purpose and vision done. And also this could just feel like a bit of confusion. Not anything major. It is in the middle of the night. But I will say that this day probably is one of the crankier days of the week to end everything. And so if you have the wherewithal, the time and the resources to try to kind of lay low on Sunday, that would be my advice for you. And so with that all being said, I hope that talks you through it for Sunday. All right, take care. Hey, thank you for listening to today's Astro Weather with me. I'm Sydney. As a reminder, I'm always open to seeing both new and my beloved returning clients. My website is ddastrology.com. That is D as in dog, D as in dog, astrology.com to check me out and just click the email buttons in order to schedule with me. If you're into a more conversational feel with your podcast and content, I have a podcast called BS Astrology with my fellow Mercurial Mommy Bender, and we put out episodes every Sunday for the week. Just search BS Astrology on YouTube or wherever you enjoy listening to your podcast, including Spotify, Audible, and more. Have a good day.